Good evening, welcome back. It is Friday. We are doing part 2 of our 1997 Maxx Year in Review set. We opened this up yesterday. We did cards 1 through 90, and now we're going to do the balance of the set today. Just kind of off screen here, I've been trying to get them unbricked as best I can. So we're going to look at the rest of these. We're going to start off with Ricky Rudd. Victory Lane, that would be the Brickyard 400 win. That was quite a race. I was there for that one. Don't have a lot of memories of it, but typical Brickyard. Never knew what was going to happen. Here we go. Pole sitter for that race was Ernie Irvin. You see the infamous Gasoline Alley there in the background. They've redone it since then, so it has a very, very different look and feel. I missed the old one because it was more fan-friendly. The new one is not. Kyle Petty climbing the pack. We're going to go with Michael Waltrip driving for the Wood Brothers. DW. Again, this is at Indy. Who's that in the background? Again, Brett Bodine in the background once again. But that would be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Jeff Gordon. Looks like a Sears Point photo because it's a right-hand corner. Todd Bodine, pole sitter. That's probably, yeah, Watkins Glen, because he was in the C.C. Welliver car for an Oddball Cup start. There's Steve Grissom once again. And Ricky Rudd in the pits. Looks like we got some more cards here. Robbie Gordon. Pretty sure it's Robbie Gordon. Yep. I believe he had a fourth place finish that day. First career top 5 for Robbie. I believe it was his first top 10 as well. He struggled in the 40 car, but they weren't a top-tier team at the time. Mark Martin. Johnny Benson, once again, pole sitter. Where was he pole sitter at this time? Michigan. I had tickets to that race. I sold them. I was kind of, I don't want to say struggling with money because you always do that, but I didn't have enough money to really go up there and have a good time. The tickets were paid for, but I just sold the tickets and stayed home. And luckily I did because it rained most of that race, I guess, and they ran a lot of it under yellow. Rusty Wallace climbing the pack. Excuse me, I had to pause there for a second. Had a sneeze hit me out of nowhere. Bill Elliott. Looks like that could be Pocono based on the corner. Jeff Burton in the pits. Looks like Michigan. Dale Jarrett, Victory Lane. Says Bristol Motor Speedway behind him, so we'll go with that. Kenny Wallace, pole sitter. So Kenny Wallace and Joe Nemechek were kind of the two breakout qualifying drivers in 97. Steve Grissom had a couple good runs that year, but really just kind of struggled with that car. QVC car, Jeff Bodine, definitely Bristol. And David Green, Rookie of the Year contender. I think that's the first time we've seen him in the set. David had just a horrible year. You had 4 Rookie of the Year contenders. You had Rookie of the Year Mike Skinner. You had David Green, Jeff Green, and Robbie Gordon. And Jeff Green was the only one that had a top 5 finish. No, Robbie had a top 5, but they just weren't consistent throughout the year. Jeff Gordon, Victory Lane. Is this Southern 500 when he became the second driver to win the Winston Million. So it's a pretty impressive feat. Pole sitter, Bobby Labonte. Bobby was hit and miss at Darlington. I think he broke his shoulder blade twice there. Chad Little, first time seeing Chad. This is the Pontiac, as you see there. And Jack Roush eventually got ownership of this team from Mark Rippon. So Jack Roush did briefly field a Pontiac in 1997. Dick Trickle driving for Junie Donlevy. This would be near the end of Junie Donlevy's team being somewhat competitive. As after Heilig, Myers, and Trickle left, the sponsorship money just really started drying up fast. Jeff Burton, again, there's a better view of that. At the time, pretty crazy looking car. Today, you wouldn't even blink an eye at it. You got Robert Yates, Dale Jarrett, and Todd Parrott. They would be a formidable trio in the years to come. There's the original Mac Tonight car. I know Jamie McMurray ran a Mac Tonight car, and there's been a few others during Throwback Weekend run similar paint schemes. It's a very, very popular paint scheme. We've seen the Family Channel Prime Star car of Ted Musgrave already a few times. Joe Nemechek. And then who else do we have here? We have Kenny Irwin. Very nice. So this is one of his first Cup starts for Robert Yates. And for the 27 David Blair team. He actually won the outside pole in his first attempt at Richmond. Led some laps that race. Victory lane there. Jeff Gordon, Ray Evernham. Kenny Schrader got himself a pole. I believe that was the Fall Talladega race. Oh, no, New Hampshire. Okay, we'll take it. Ernie Irvin. There is John Andretti in Cale Yarborough's RCA car. Ran strong a lot during the year. Jeff Bodine, we talked about him a little bit. Ended up losing his team the following season. Or actually selling out to Jim Matei. He didn't lose it, he sold it. Mark Martin. There's another Mark Martin card. Iconic number 6. Another Dale Earnhardt car. That word plus on the hood was not good. I've heard rumors that Dale absolutely hated that look. Did not like that word plus. And it was on there for most of 97, part of 96, part of 98. There's a good look at Robbie Gordon's Coors Light car. Of course, after he was injured at Indy, Greg Sachs and a couple other drivers filled in. Then Robbie came back, and then he was released. And then I think Sachs finished the year in the 40 car. Jeff Gordon. I always think it's funny because Jeff was hired away from Ford in 1993 to drive this car. And if you look at the DuPont logo there on the front and on the side, and if you look at the Pepsi logo, it's like they're mocking Ford with all those blue ovals. Victory Lane, Jeff Burton would have been, is this Martinsville or New Hampshire? Martinsville. I believe Rusty Wallace was black flagged on a late race restart for jumping the start. Ward Burton. Ricky Craven, once again, it's funny because Bud did not put their logos on here, but Coors Light put their logos up. We have Bobby Hamilton, and I believe that's Sterling Marlin back there behind him. We haven't seen Sterling yet in this set, strangely enough, or at least I don't remember seeing him. There's Rusty once again, the original Blue Deuce. Looks like we got some cards that are upside down, so it's like somebody at Panini was packaging these. Dale Jarrett, Victory Lane. Looks like Charlotte, but I can't say for sure. UAW GM Quality 500, so that would be Charlotte. I guess the trophy, I should have noticed that right off the bat. Jeff Bodine, pole sitter in Atlanta. In that qualifying time... Wait a minute, that's not the right one, is it? No, that is Charlotte, so it's the Atlanta qualifying time that he has the track record. Spooky Loops car, I believe, or Halloween car for Terry Labonte. That's one that doesn't pop up much. Bobby Labonte. What card number is this one? So we're at 140. We're almost to the end here. DW with the Gatorade throwback for his Parts America car. Terry Labonte, Victory Lane. So is that Die Hard 500. So that would be Talladega. I vaguely remember that race. Pole sitter Ernie Irvin in a Davey Allison throwback. Very nice. So, and this was about the era that you started seeing a throwback car once in a while. So always appreciated that. Kyle Petty. Iconic Hot Wheels car, Mark Martin. We've seen that one several times. Kenny Schrader with the Skull Bandit. First time seeing Richard Petty. Victory Lane at Rockingham with Bobby Hamilton. Bobby Labonte. And I believe that is the last win for Petty. No, with John Andretti won at Martinsville in 99, and I think that was the last win for Petty Enterprises. I'll have to look. Now we see a Sterling Marlin. We may have seen him in the first batch. I honestly don't recall 100%. In the pits, when they had the pit crew competition, Bill Elliott's team won that championship. I missed those. And then we got 150. So Bobby Hamilton once again with Richard Petty in Victory Lane. Dale Jarrett, Victory Lane, with just a really wonky looking trophy. Looks like we got another Bobby Hamilton one. Running a lot of those throwbacks to the old Petty dynasty. Kyle Petty with the 500 career starts on the hood. DJ. So we get another Darrell Waltrip one. The normal Parts America paint scheme for the year. He ran a lot of throwbacks plus the Chrome car. Oops, we had a couple of them stick together. They're Bobby Labonte, race winner in Atlanta. We were talking about Jeff Bodine winning the pole in Atlanta, and I believe that track record is still there, 197.478. They may run faster than that now when they're in the draft, but still, 1997, 197 in Atlanta, that was crazy fast. Bobby Hamilton, excuse me. Card number 159 in the pits, Mark Martin. I'm going to, up next is Chad Little. And who is that behind him? That's Trickle behind him. And then we have a checklist. And then if I remember right, the rest of the set are like award winners and then the top 10 in points for the year. So very cool. Jeff Gordon, champion. So there's his stats for the year. Second place in points, Dale Jarrett. I like these cards. These look nice. Mark Martin was third in points in 97. Jeff Burton, second year for Roush, first career win that year, fourth in points. Fifth in points, Dale Earnhardt. He was winless in 97. Only 2 years in his career he went full-time without a win, 97 and 81. Terry Labonte was the defending champion, fell to sixth in points. Seventh points, his brother Bobby Labonte. Eighth in points for 1997. Bill Elliott, and I believe that was the last year he was top 10 as an owner-driver. I could be wrong. I'll have to look that one up. Rusty Wallace was ninth. Always strong on the short tracks and road courses. Struggled on the mile-and-a-halfs and speedways. And 10th in his first year for Andy Petrie Racing, Kenny Schrader. And then we have award winners, it looks like. Winston Cup champion, Jeff Gordon. Rookie of the Year, Mike Skinner. Then we have the, what's that? True Value Man of the Year, Dale Jarrett. And then our last card, Most Popular Driver, Bill Elliott. So, not a bad set. I really like it. Good photography. I like how it is Cup-centric, and it should be, because it is a Winston Cup driver's set. A lot of good photos in there. So I'm going to have to figure out how I want to get this stored, if I want to put it in an album, if I want to put it in a box, or what I want to do with it. But I'm going to definitely set it off to the side. Let me know what you guys think. You've seen the first half of it yesterday, the second half of it today. You know, I was hoping we'd get an Earnhardt autograph, you know, randomly inserted, 50 hand-numbered autographs or whatever. Would have been really, really cool to have pulled one, but nonetheless. And if I see these in the future, I'm definitely gonna get them, because some of these would be nice to send out for TTM, some of the drivers that still do those to this day. And some of them would be nice just to maybe break up a set and put some of those cool cards in the collection. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Again, just kind of a quote-unquote, I don't want to call it a bonus video, but it's definitely a video that I was wanting to do. I've had this sitting off to the side for quite a long time and was looking forward to seeing it, because I've probably only seen maybe a couple of those cards at random, and now we've seen the entire set. So as always, thanks again for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, and we'll see you tomorrow.